Welcome back, everyone. Today we're making chicken slash beef, it's gonna be a mix, burger patties on the pan inside the house. We're not yet out grilling, so we have to make this inside the house. We're gonna be using the organic ground chicken and the 93% lean organic grass-fed ground beef. To that, we're gonna add our eggs, all our spices, onion powder, pink Himalayan salt, dill, and pepper. Also, we will add some matzo meal with water for some fluff. Okay, watch how we combine. It's gonna be a matter of minutes for everything to come together. Chicken in the bowl, meat in the bowl, eggs in the bowl. I use 2 eggs per package of protein. So we have 2 packages of protein. We have 4 eggs. Some pepper added. Some salt added. Some onion powder added. Some dill added. Some matzo meal added, some water added, mix everything in. Okay, everything is mixed. All right, gonna fry it up. The pan is preheating. No need to form them. Just take a spoon, put it on the pan to make a shape of a burger patty. Okay. Repeat. Okay, continue. I'll show you when I'll have to flip them. Patties on the pan. I'm gonna try to flip. Looking good, looking good. Wonderful. Okay, this side is still cooking. Yeah. Okay. This one may still not be all the way ready. Oh no, it is. Okay. Since I don't want to continue frying them for too long, not to get all the fried stuff in them, I'm gonna just let it seal on the other side and then pour some water and put a lid over to continue the cooking process from the inside. Okay. I'm gonna cover it with a lid and let it cook through. Okay, my first set of patties are ready. Okay, my second set is complete. This is pretty much how we have them. You can make them at home. Chicken, beef, burger patties. Hello everyone. Today we have some interesting stuff. We have 2 different meats, or chicken and meat, ground beef and organic ground chicken. We have farro and we have little peppers. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a twist on the traditional stuffed peppers with rice and some kind of protein, but we're gonna use farro instead. So farro, it looks like barley. Nutritionally, it's better than rice. It has some proteins, it has some fiber, so it's a good alternative. And it's a good twist to this dish. So watch how we do this. Step 1 is to make the farro. So do it just like you would with any other grain. Some water, some farro, and some salt. Alright, step 2, prepare your mixture of meats and chicken or whatever combination you're using. If you missed my kotletki video, you can always refer back. but I'm using here, so both my meats, I'm using 4 eggs. I use 2 per package of meat. Then I have some salt and pepper and onion powder, dill, and the only difference is I will not be using the matzo meal that I typically use. Why? Because we're gonna have our farro. So one good thing is that we're staying away from extra carbs, even though it's not too much of it. Second thing is that it's just a simpler deal. All right, I'm gonna mix it all up together. All right, so we have all the ingredients well incorporated. Our farro is still, let's see, it's still being made. It's boiling. Expect it to cook for a little while. It is a little tough, just like barley. But the great thing is that if you don't have the time, you can set this guy aside, put it in the fridge, come back to it later. All these few step recipes, they can be done not in one shot. So stay tuned. All right, I'm back. So what is it? Step 3 now? What do we have? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna wash up your peppers. You're gonna remove these guys and clean out the insides, and repeat for all of them. Okay, my peppers are washed. I took out the inside and they're ready to be stuffed with the meat and farro mixture. But before, we're gonna mix the meat and the farro. Okay, I'm gonna mix this in. Continue to do that and then show you how we're gonna stuff the peppers. All right, so we're gonna take a bag, a regular Ziploc, put our mixture inside, and we're gonna try to pipe the meat into the peppers. And it's actually working out very nicely. Surprisingly, I didn't even expect this, never done this before. So we're gonna stuff the peppers this way, and I'll show you the following steps as we go through them. Okay guys, we're coming to the final moments. So all the peppers are stuffed. I put a few pieces of celery, a few slices of carrot, 2 bay leaves. I'm gonna spray with a little bit of oil. Put it on heat. Do about medium heat. At this point, we're gonna come in with a few tablespoons of organic pizza sauce on top, and then we're gonna put a little bit of water. Okay, pizza sauce is going in. Just drizzle it over the top. Tablespoon 1, tablespoon 2, probably about 4 tablespoons should be fine. Tablespoon 3, and tablespoon 4. You can put a few fresh tomatoes on top. We'll see, maybe I'll do that. Put some water. I'm spilling some of this. Okay, here we go. Let's cook it. On the other side here, I decided to make some kotlетки, some patties, because I have a lot of mixture remaining, so I'm not gonna let that go to waste. So that's how they're looking. All right, this is our progress. This is how we're looking. I think it needs a little bit more time, and then we'll shut it off and present it. All right. I'm turning these off. They look ready. It's been a while since they were cooking. I'm turning it off before the peppers get too mushy, because I want them to keep the shape. Final product, stuffed peppers. All right, while I was making all of that stuff, the peppers and the kotlетки, the patties, I still have some mixture left over, so I figured why not use this sauce and make some meatballs in it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have a little bit. I'm just gonna come in and put these in here. Not gonna really roll them out. Of course, you can make them more perfectly round, but I think they're gonna come together regardless. Alrighty, let's have it cooking. Okay, this is how our meatballs are coming together. So they're looking nice. Alright, so we started with stuffed pineapples. Then we later came to some fried kotletki. And we ended off with some meatballs. So it just shows that you can make a few things out of one thing, which is a nice way to serve variety to your crowd. Good afternoon, everybody. We're making spaghetti and meatballs. There are many twists in this recipe. First, we're gonna cook our pasta. We have brown rice pasta. I have a big pot of water on the stove. It's coming to a boil right now. I usually break my pasta apart, but this time I'm gonna cook it the real way. We're gonna put everything directly into this pot. Also, instead of our fillers for the meat, last time I used matzo meal. We're gonna stay gluten-free for this one, and we have some leftover quinoa. Yes, it can be added to your ground meats. I don't have the chicken on hand, so we're just gonna stick to beef. We have our 2 eggs and our spices. For now, we're gonna have parsley, dill, ginger, onion powder, and salt. And lastly, once we're gonna fry up our meatballs, we're just gonna fry them on the pan, and then we're gonna transfer them into a baking dish, and we're gonna use this guy. If you remember from our sauteed cabbage recipe, this is what made all the difference, and we're gonna try to make all the difference in these meatballs as well. So watch how we get everything together now. Okay, I got all of these ingredients in the bowl. I have the 2 eggs, the meat, the spices, and the quinoa. We're gonna mix everything all together. Okay, everything is mixed. I'm gonna form the meatballs right now. Okay, we are all rolled up. We're gonna transfer this to the pan right here. Okay. Okay, we have our water boiling here. We're gonna put in our pasta. Okay, it's a little large. It's gonna get softer and I'm gonna put it all in. And these meatballs are still frying. Okay, I flipped my meatballs to the other side. Pasta's now fully submerged. We'll continue the cooking process and then transfer the meatballs with some salsa into this dish. Okay, I greased my dish. I put the salsa on the bottom, layered out the meatballs, and I'm gonna put some salsa on top as well. Once that's done, we're gonna put this into the oven, and our pasta is almost ready as well. Can't wait to show you how we serve everything all together. Okay, our meatballs are ready. We have the spaghetti already plated. I'm gonna transfer some meatballs onto our dish. Delicious. Welcome back, everyone. As you see here, we have the beginning of quite a few recipes that we have on our channel. Either the stovetop patties or the stuffed peppers or the meatballs, but I promise we're not going to repeat ourselves. We're going to show you something different. This is for a day when you are very, very busy and you don't have time to play around with many recipes, and you could just put everything on one pan and get it going. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use ground beef and ground chicken, put it onto a pan, break it up into small pieces, add the spices and a few carrots, and that's it. Our dish will be complete, and then I'll show you how to serve that up. Let's get going. Okay, basically step one, get everything out onto the pan. Now we're gonna season everything. First we're gonna add some salt. And then we're gonna add some onion powder. Now we're gonna add some parsley. Okay, then we're gonna add some ginger. Okay, then we're gonna add some turmeric. I love the color and the flavor that the turmeric gives. Always a great addition. Okay, then we're gonna take our spatula, continue kind of chopping it up like this, mixing it in, chopping it up, and continuously do this until everything is incorporated, the spices and the meats are mixed. Okay, I'm continuing the process. Just keep doing this. Mix in. Break it up again. Okay, this is coming along nicely. We're gonna add in some chopped carrots. We need some color and some vegetables. Mix all that in. A few more minutes and then we'll be turning it off. Alrighty, and we're about done turning this off, and I'm going to show you how I serve this up. Okay, so there's a few ways of serving this up. Number one, we can make lettuce beds. So this is a wonderful way. It looks fresh, it looks colorful. We can put some dill on top. Another way to serve this up is to make a grain and to mix the meat with the carrots with the grain. And the usual would be serving it maybe over rice or mixed with rice. Or you can use any other grain. You can use farro, you can use quinoa. I made myself some buckwheat. Okay, so I have some buckwheat right here. We can just mix the two together and it would make a perfect dish as well for lunch or dinner. Welcome back everyone. New day, new fun recipes. Today we are gonna attempt a Lula Kebab at home. So we're gonna use skewers and try to put ground meat on top of it. So here I have my usual. I have my beef, I have my chicken, 4 eggs, so 2 eggs per package of meat, my spices, and the filler that I'm gonna use for this recipe is rice. I just wanna make sure that everything is very sticky and can stay on the skewer itself. In terms of the herbs, this is my lineup for this dish. I have black pepper, onion powder, turmeric, parsley, ground cumin, and salt. You can of course use your usual or whatever you prefer. I will now mix everything together. This is the mix I got, and if you want to see other recipes where I use the beef and the chicken or just beef and incorporate the eggs, spices, and other base ingredients, you can definitely check out the meatballs. The base ingredient there is the quinoa. Then there's also the stuffed peppers. I believe there's rice in there. Sometimes I use matzo meal as for the at-home burger recipe, and you can actually use many other ingredients such as potatoes or zucchini, and I will have recipes coming up with that as well. So for now, this is our mix. I'm using rice because I want it to remain sticky and be able to adhere to the skewers and not fall off. So we'll definitely try this out and see if this works. Alrighty, here we go. I got my skewers. And for the real dish, obviously the skewers are a bit wider. Again, this is not an authentic recipe. This is just me trying to experiment with the things that I have at home. I find it fun, so let's give it a shot. Okay, I'm gonna put the meat on the skewers now. Okay, so the way you would do it is you would take a ball of meat into your hands, Wrap it around the skewer and start pushing along down towards the bottom until you have it on the skewer securely. Okay, so this is how I formed it. Chances are it wouldn't hold if you pick it up, but if you shape it a little bit this way, once it starts cooking through, you're gonna put it into the oven. Once it cooks, it's gonna stiffen up, so you may be able to actually lift up the stick and say you have a Lula Kebab. Okay, let's proceed to the next. Alrighty, this is what I was able to form. I actually found it cool that I was able to get the skewer a little bit over the top. So I was able to put enough on the bottom and enough to cover over the top. So I'm kind of ensuring that it's fully on the skewer itself. Okay, so putting it into the oven, about 380. We'll see how it cooks. All right, check this out. Not too bad for a home-baked meal. So they look more or less okay. You can actually lift them. I did flip them midway and I spray oiled them a little bit. I don't know if it's gonna hold if I, yeah, it's holding. Even if I pick it up, it's holding. So pretty good. Okay, now we're gonna serve it on a nice platter. And there you have it. Any fresh ingredients make a nice decor for this dish. Lula Kebab in the oven. Greetings everyone. So we had many sandwiches during our travel time. So today we are making breadless chicken sliders with zucchini. Alrighty, here we go. So I washed my zucchinis. We are gonna slice them about this thick. So something like this. I'm just making markings so you can see. And then we are gonna lightly fry up these zucchinis with some spices. Okay, so I cut up my zucchinis. I am gonna pat them dry. Sometimes zucchinis have some moisture to them, although these seem pretty well off. Okay, now we're gonna season them on the top and put them on the pan. Okay, pepper is on. I'm adding some salt. I'm gonna add some onion powder. You can do whichever spices you have. Okay, putting my zucchinis on the pan, seasoned side down. Once they're on, we can season the other side. It's not going to take very long. We just want to get the little sear over the top. Okay, they're on. Putting over some salt. Repeat again, pepper, onion powder. I sprayed some oil. We're going to flip them right now. This is exactly what we are looking for. I'm going to take them off the pan. And you are going to need 2 zucchini pieces per slider. Okay. Alrighty, so now for our meaty component, I have my mixture here. I'm going to add, for the base ingredient, I'm adding quinoa. We're keeping this totally bread-free. And for that matter, I guess grain-free, as quinoa is not really a grain. It's actually called a pseudo cereal, and it has proteins as well and fiber. So this is a pretty good mix. We're gonna combine everything, fry them up. We're gonna keep them the size of meatballs because our zucchini pieces are that size and we wanna make it look good. Okay, let me mix all this together. Okay, I'm using the same pan as I did for the zucchini pieces. Okay, we're gonna make them about this big. It's not sizzling, it didn't have time to heat up yet, but by the time I get everything on the pan, I think it's gonna be good to go. Okay, we got these little guys on the pan. Let's try to flip them. Okay, it's working. Okay, here we go, assembly time. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna take 1 zucchini slice. We're gonna take 1 little patty. I cut up some tomatoes into squares. So let's take a flatter one for better alignment. Okay, I have some vegan cheese. And we're gonna take another zucchini slice and put it over the top. Here we have our beautiful little sandwich. Put a toothpick through. And there you have it, perfect appetizers. I am gonna continue with the rest and show you the final result. Okay, we are done. This is the view from the top. It looks delicious. It looks really, really cute. This is the view from the side. Tomato, vegan cheese, 2 slices of zucchini, and our little chicken meatballs. Delicious. Don't start your party without these. You could also actually make a dipping sauce. That would also be nice. Okay, try these out for yourselves.